What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, then welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, so tonight it is Tipsy Tuesday, and tonight's topic is we are going to be talking about how we can do hard things and how I can show you some different ways or some different techniques or tactics to help you do some of the hard things that you really do not want to do. Okay. Before we get into it, let me just check and make sure I'm good on all my social media platforms. And then I will do the Tipsy Tuesday introduction and song. And then we're going to get into the topic for tonight. All right, so I'm good there. And let's see really quick. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. All right, and it looks like I am good there as well. All right, so we are good. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time to Tipsy Tuesday, basically what we do is we just take some sips. I'm sipping on some wine tonight because your girl has had a rough week since the last time y'all saw me or whatever. It's been a little rocky. So I had some wine tonight, but we take some sips as I share some tips and everything. Okay. Before I do get into it, y'all, I do have a couple of church announcements that I do want to share with y'all. All right, so I've shared with y'all before. Y'all know, I think it was just last week I told y'all I've mainly only been doing these lives just because your girl's time has been very limited and everything. And I know I haven't gotten y'all any recorded videos out there, but I do have a special announcement. So I will be doing Side Hustle Saturday. It's Side Hustle Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. So I will be doing Side Hustle Saturday this Saturday. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to record it. So depending on how my week goes, I'm going to go ahead and record it. But if not, guess what? I will be coming to you live for Side Hustle Saturday, and we'll do another live and in-person show. And I might be leaning towards that because y'all know I don't really like editing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there will be a Side Hustle Saturday this weekend, this Saturday and everything. And I want to start doing more videos talking about the side hustles. I also want to get some feedback from y'all too. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I'm also going to post something later on my page, YouTube page, social media pages. What has been your best side hustle? That's what I want to know. So I want to know about different side hustles. Y'all already know the side hustles that I mainly do, even though I haven't really been doing them as hard as I used to be, is the mystery shopping and the notary stuff. Okay. But y'all let me know what have been your best side hustles that have helped y'all to generate money and extra income. What have been some unique side hustles that y'all have been doing? Because I want to hear about it. Because y'all, the more I dig into different side hustles, because y'all know I have been looking at some different things. Now, I haven't pulled the trigger to just try or start anything new. But y'all, I always tell y'all, there are just so many different ways to make money out there. And I always say one source of income is too close to zero. And I learned that during the pandemic. So I'm always going to have a side hustle or something where I can supplement my income in my back pocket. And I highly suggest y'all do the same so that, you just have some extra income flowing for whatever your goals might be, even if it's just fun money, vacation money, I don't know, home improvement money. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything serious or whatever. And if you don't have a side hustle, make sure you are living below your means and setting aside some of your income from that. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago about lifestyle creep. So if you already know, like, hey, side hustles are not for me, I don't know why, but if you know you're not going to be getting into a side hustle, at least live below your means. Only live off a portion of your income so that you don't fall victim of lifestyle creep and you always have some extra money, extra reserve and everything. Okay. Let's see. I see I have some comments. I still have another church announcement for y'all, but let me go ahead and put this up. What's up, Still Rocks? Good to see you. I guess you're still working the night shift, but I'm glad to have you nonetheless. He says, we in here. And I always mess up your name. Yame. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Hey, girl. Hey, what's up, girl? Good to see you. Glad you were able to make it back as well. And then Yame says, before I left North Carolina, I was doing individual lashes and retwisting locks, but I stopped. Why you stop? You need to get back into it. That is definitely something that is in demand, or people are always looking for it. Get you some extra income and everything too. So see what you can do to get back into it. Okay, I did say your name right. Awesome, Yame. I just gotta remember that the rest of this night. Okay. But yeah, so that was the church announcement. So we'll have Side Hustle Saturday on this coming Saturday. Also, I will be having another recorded video. Now that one, I ain't gonna say it's coming out this week, but I'm gonna try and definitely have it out. I'm gonna record it this week in hopes that I will have it out either by the end of this week or next week. And that is going to be, y'all, remember I told y'all I'm trying to get back on my budget. I'm gonna be doing a cash stuffing envelope, so you'll see how I divvy up my money for my different cash envelopes. And I'm gonna try. No, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna try. I am planning on sticking to using my cash envelopes once I get the money in there. So your girl is trying to get back on track, which also goes in line with the theme. Today, I can do hard things because right now, that used to be easy for me. The cash envelopes used to be easy, but now it is one of the hard things that I am having to focus on and reshift and readjust and start doing again in my life. Okay. So those were your church announcements. We're going to have Side Hustle Saturday and you're going to get a recorded video. So yeah, we're going to end the month of April off with a bang by giving y'all some extra videos and stuff like that. Now, also want to say this. Thank y'all so much. I don't say this often enough. Thank y'all so much for all the support that you show me when you come on the lives. For those who check out the replay, I really and truly do appreciate it because I know I have not been putting out the content as much as I used to just because of my time constraints. So I still appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with me and continuing to support me and allowing for all my new subscribers, because the channel is still growing, that are coming in. I really and truly do appreciate that. When I was doing more of the recorded videos, I would at least try to thank y'all during those times. And I know I don't say it often enough when I get on the live. So I wanted to make sure I said it today. Thank y'all so much. Love each and every one of y'all. Okay. All right. So I think I got the church announcements and everything like that. It is time. Let's see. Hold on. I see some comments. I'm gonna take a sip too. Y'all, I'm not trying to stay on here long tonight. I'm not. I'll tell you how my day has been going too, though, because I'm kind of proud of myself. Yame says, I have done locks, but I'm not interested in lashes anymore. I've been on more of a natural kick. I make my own room spray, deodorant, and rose water, which was my last DIY project. All right, that is awesome, Yame. You have to let us know how we can support you. Do you have an online store? Do you sell it like on Etsy? I don't even know, or whatever. Is there a website that people can possibly go to check it out and see what your products are? If so, please put it in the comment section so we can show you some love, share your information to people who might be interested in those kinds of things. Yeah, so that's really, really good. So I hope that continues to go well for you. And then look who decided to come, Mr. Belford. It's been a minute. It is good to see you. He says, sis, your brother is back in the building, been traveling a little bit. Well, that's good. I hope you've been traveling and enjoying yourself and having a good time, but it is always good to see you. So glad to have you back on the lives, Belford. All right, let me look at these, and then y'all, I got a few little notes. They not the best notes, but I got a few little notes. Still Rock says we are going in on Saturday. Yes, yeah. The way things are looking, it's probably going to be another live on Saturday. Because only got what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I only got 3 days to try and record it ahead of time, and if I don't do it tomorrow, it's probably not going to get done. Still Rock said, oh, look at Still Rock's trying to be all healthy. Okay. He says, I'm drinking aloe vera juice and water. I got to get back on the ball. These speed traffic cameras have been eating me up. Yes, slow down. Be careful. But that's good that you're drinking aloe and water. Staying healthy. Oh, y'all. Okay. So real quick, too. Well, I'll wait. This goes into my hard things that I'm doing. Like I said, it's been a little rough week since the last time I've seen y'all. Yame says, I haven't gotten that far yet, but when I do, I will post it. Yes, let us know so we can support and everything. And I can't, Young Speaker, good to see you again. I'm glad you're back. Young Speaker says, love the lipstick. Yes, y'all. Okay, so I put on the lipstick because I try to be a little jazzy for y'all because I'm in all black, so I'm trying to have a little pop of color for y'all. But this is like this is my favorite shades of lipstick. It's from the Lip Bar. I know y'all probably have heard of that. It's a Black-owned company, and this one is called Boss Lady. So this is my favorite shade to wear. So for all my ladies out there, check it out and everything and show your support. Okay, so let's get into I can do hard things, and I'm saying it because it has really been a struggle with the hard things that I have been doing. So there have been some hard things I've been doing in my personal life. There are some hard things that I am starting to do in my business life. And all of this has pretty much accumulated in the past week, or I have decided to take action this past week. So here's what's been going on with me. So I'm trying to get back healthy. Well, I don't even know if I should say get back. I'm just trying to get healthy. I'm trying to get healthy. So I have been trying to exercise more, and I have challenged myself to walking every day, at least 2 miles a day for the next 2 weeks. And so this is week 2. So this is, I don't know what's today? Tuesday. So this is like day 9 or something like that, where I have been consistently walking every day for 2 weeks, which is really a struggle with my schedule. Either I'm gonna have to get up early, or I have to find energy at the end, like when I get home from work, to go out and walk or get on my treadmill and walk. And I can't even say it's not that I don't have time. It's more so the energy or just me prioritizing that. But so far, I have been committed to that. So I am proud of myself with that. And I decided to only do 2 weeks just to make it a short-term goal. Like ideally, I told y'all before, like I make these big lofty goals and stuff like that. And you'll get sidetracked and you'll get all off course and everything like that. And next thing you know, you've fallen off the wagon, or you're not doing things for long periods of time. So I was like, let me just commit to doing 2 weeks. When that 2 weeks is up, I'm going to commit to doing another 2 weeks. And I'm just going to keep doing it in small 2-week increments. And play it by ear, because especially like if I have something that's coming up and I know it might be like a busy week, I might say, hey, we're only going to do, 1 week or 10 days or something like that. But ultimately, my goal is to do it consistently every 2 weeks until it starts becoming more natural for me and starts becoming more easy for me to do. Because here's the thing, y'all, oftentimes the things that are what we call the hard things, they are like some of the most simple things to do. And by simple, I don't mean easy. By simple, I mean the things aren't complex. Like, it's not rocket science for me to exercise every day. Like, that is not hard. That is not complex. That is something really simple. So, but it is so hard for me to do. And same thing goes with like eating healthy, eating right, and stuff like that. Like, that's not something hard per se. It's something simple. It's like you know you should do it, but actually doing it, it's like we be making it hard. The thing is actually not that the thing is not that hard to do. It's just like we end up complicating stuff. But most of the hard things, or the things that we deem as hard, they're actually very, very simple and easy. Well, I'm not gonna say easy. They're not complex, I should say. It's like it's very just straightforward what you need to do, and you just need to get at it and do it. Point blank, period. So yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. And y'all, as I was doing my research for this topic, I realized this thing is not as simple as I thought it was, or it's not just about getting up and doing it, even though I'm saying that now. Like, you would think it would be something just straightforward, like, hey, get up and do it or whatever. But I will share with you some things that I discovered about why we can't always do the things that we really need to do, and why it's so hard for us to do it. So, yes. So this week I've been walking more. I won't say I've been trying to eat healthier. I've been watching what I eat, and I started this detox, y'all. Now this has been a struggle. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with Dr. Bobby Price, but he is on YouTube. He has a lot of good informational videos talking about health and eating healthy and things that are good for your body, like foods that are good for your body, as well as like stuff that's in the food, chemicals and stuff like that are harmful to the body. So I have been I won't say following him, but I have seen his videos for a while. And I got this detox. I probably got this detox almost like 6 months ago, or if not more. And I just have not done it because it's a 2-week detox that I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to have 2 weeks of time to actually do this detox. And it's actually, I got like 2 of the detox. One is like for a tummy detox, and the other one is like for cleaning out like parasites and stuff like that. So y'all, I started a detox on Saturday because I didn't want to start it during the week. I got to go to work. I don't know what's going to happen with the detox. I need to be in the comfort of my home if I'm starting this detox. Okay. So I started the detox on Saturday. Now here's the thing. It's like, you got to drink this tea. It's 2 different teas or whatever. And it's 32 ounces that you're supposed to drink. Y'all, I don't really drink. Y'all, I struggle drinking water every day, like trying to get 32 ounces of water in. So imagine me trying to get 64 ounces of this tea in a day. And then also the tea, the other thing is with the tea, another reason I hadn't started the detox is because the tea has to steep for like 4 hours. Like, what kind of tea is this? That it has to steep for 4 hours. So it's like, you got to prepare it overnight, and they want you to do it first thing in the morning. I have not taken it first thing in the morning at all, because usually I'm waking up in the morning and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to make my tea. So I'm usually waking up at like 6, 7, putting the water on to make my tea and everything like that. And then by 11, 12, I start drinking the tea, and it usually takes me a few hours to drink the daggone tea. But anyway, so I started drinking the tea on Saturday. The first one, the tummy one, is not that bad. It actually, I just told myself I'm drinking water or whatever. And so that went pretty well. Now that parasite one, y'all, your girl was struggling. That ish was nasty. I can't put it any other way. It was nasty. And I tried. I really tried to drink the tea. I really did. I was even watching the Lakers game that evening or whatever. That's how late it was with me trying to get the tea in. I was watching the Lakers game, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a sip every time the Lakers score or whatever. I tried to make a game of it and everything to try and drink this nasty tea. And that's not to say, this is not any shade to Dr. Bobby Price. I'm sure this tea is very helpful and stuff like that. But that parasite one, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I probably drank half of the 32 ounces. I was like, I don't know. I ended up pouring it out. I was like, I'm just gonna stick with the tummy one, and I'll have to revisit the parasite one at a different at a different time when my motivation is a little bit higher, because that stuff was just, oh, it was nasty. I tried, y'all. At one point I was like gagging or whatever. So I don't know how the other people did it, but I couldn't do it. So that was some of the hard things that I did personally. Business wise, I started to do some hard things because I know I talked to y'all about how I had been procrastinating about hiring people and like looking for help in the office and stuff like that, even though we needed help. And I kind of sat with, when I was talking about when we did the procrastination talk, I kind of sat and thought about why I was procrastinating about it. And I've come to terms with why I've been procrastinating about different things. Like I shared with y'all, it's work that I'm going to have to do on my end that it needs to be done. But once again, I'm just going to have to do the hard thing and get this work done and start the process of interviewing people so that we can start onboarding and ultimately to make the office better and more efficient. So that process has also begun this week as well. So those are, and I'm still in the process of it. So this is one of the hard things that I'm working on. And with that, it's just because even with the staff that I do have, we're going to have some hard conversations, because I'm not about to be bringing new people in and we looking janky. So it's like, we got to just, there's certain things we got to tighten up on in-house. And so not only am I going to have to go through the interview process of, weeding out people or seeing who's the best candidate, but also I'm going to be having to clean house and make sure the people who are here are on the same page so that we can be a cohesive unit. And I know for me, that's some of the things I have been putting off and just kind of dealing with, just to get by and just avoiding things. But no, I got to address some stuff and get that stuff taken care of. And I knew that was some of the stuff that I needed to do before I wanted to bring on any new people, so that they're not coming in to, I don't want them to see like a broken system and then they start doing stuff broken as well or whatever. It's like, we got some stuff that we need to clean up. So those are the hard things that I have been working on, but I can do hard things is what I'm telling myself. I can do hard things. And I'm going to do it, and we're going to be successful at it and everything. But let's see. I see a couple of comments, and then we're going to talk about some of the reasons why we can't always do some of the hard stuff, even though it should be pretty doggone simple. And Young Speaker says, love it. I got to check it out. I think that's what you're talking about, the lipstick. Yes. I know they have it at Target. They even have their website. And I don't shop at Walmart, but I believe it's at Walmart too. All right. And Belford says, I can't rock with it if it's nasty. I'm all about being fit and healthy. Taste is my barrier. The tummy one is fine. The tummy detox one tastes fine. Like I said, it tastes. When I drink that one, I tell myself it's like drinking water, and I don't think it has peppermint in it, but I taste like some kind of peppermint flavor or some kind of mint flavor. So that one is not bad. That other one, like I said, the one for the parasites and stuff like that, and I'm just praying I ain't got no parasites. I don't think I got no parasites. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I'm like, that one I cannot do, honestly, because I really do want to do it because I know his stuff is helpful, and I've seen some of the testimonials and stuff like that on his website. So I think I might try the parasite one after I do this tummy one, but I'm not going to be doing no 32 ounces. I might modify it and do like half, like 16 ounces or something like that. Just so I can get through it and see some of the I figure like some of the benefit is better than nothing. But I know Dr. Bobby Price, he's like, we need to cut out everything or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just trying to make some gradual changes. But we'll see. Yeah. But the tummy one is not bad. I can definitely deal with that one. I drank that one today. I got that one done and everything. But that other one, your girl couldn't do. Excuse me. All right, so y'all, so let's talk about why is it so hard for us to do the things that we really need to do? Why do we make it so hard? So I found out, y'all, a lot of times the reason why, this is from me doing like searching on YouTube, and I know this isn't the the most reliable source or whatever, but they say our brains, we are reward centers, so we're geared off of dopamine, and so the hard things, they don't give us a dopamine rush for us to do it unless you kind of equate it with a reward. So when it comes to doing hard things, like when it comes to like working out, and I'm thinking about an example for myself, it's like, unless you equate it with some kind of reward so that your brain can get like this dopamine rush of you doing it, that's what helps to make it easier for you to do it. And I'm laughing because maybe that's why, y'all, I probably shouldn't be sharing this. Y'all, when I go for a walk, I haven't done it this week. I haven't really done it a whole lot this week, I should say. When I go for a walk, y'all, I be thinking about eating cookies. Like, when I get back home, I'm gonna eat some cookies because I did my walk. I was healthy and I eat the cookies or whatever. Now I haven't really done it this week because my son ate up all the daggone cookies or whatever. But I did have some chocolate, and I justified it by saying it was dark chocolate and it was heart healthy. So I was walking for my heart. The dark chocolate helps my heart as well. But that helps. That helps me get through some of the walks, especially now. I've only done it on the days where I really was dreading doing the walk, or I didn't really have a whole lot of time and stuff like that, and I was just trying to knock it out. I know that's not the best thing or whatever, but oftentimes the reason why we don't do some of the hard things is because there is no kind of like reward, or our brain does not equate it with a reward or whatever. Now we know, like, the reward from walking and stuff like that means that we are going to be healthier, your body might look better, all that kind of stuff, but it's not like an immediate reward. It's not like an immediate dopamine rush that you're getting. It's something long-term that your brain doesn't see in the near future. So that's what makes it harder for you to do those things. And they actually say, because they say dopamine is what makes us desire things. And it says even the things that don't interest you, that give you a low amount of dopamine. They said pretty much any activity you do gives you like some amount of dopamine, but the things that don't interest you give you very, very low amounts of dopamine. And of course, the things that really interest you give you high amounts of dopamine. And what I was surprised to hear too is they were talking about like how we're like addicted to, I won't say addicted to our phones, but they did talk about addictions and stuff like that. But you know how you're like addicted to your phone, like you're checking your phone, things like that, checking your social media, your emails, that kind of stuff. You're tied to your phone. It's because it gives you a dopamine rush, because you're expecting like a notification, you're expecting a text message or something like that from someone. So it's a dopamine rush that you're getting. And you even though if you check your phone and you didn't get a text message or something like that, eventually you will. So you just keep checking it and checking it. And actually the anticipation of you possibly getting like a notification on your phone or a text message on your phone, even the anticipation of that gives you a dopamine rush, which is why it's like a never-ending cycle, or it keeps you in that cycle of you checking your phone and doing things of that nature. And one of the things that I watched, they said the way that you can help this is by doing a dopamine detox. Now, this is what I won't say it blew my mind, But I don't know. I was like, is there no other way when they said this? They said you do a dopamine detox. And the way to do a dopamine detox is basically by making yourself bored. I mean, it makes sense, but I'm like, dog, you just gotta make yourself bored. And they were like, you gotta like whatever it is, whatever you're doing on a daily basis that gives you that dopamine rush. Maybe it's playing video games. Maybe it's, I don't know, eating, like for me, eating some cookies or chocolate every day or whatever. Whatever is giving you that dopamine rush, you have to detox. And it could be anything. You have to detox from it. So if you're getting a rush from playing video games or whatever, or going shopping or whatever it is, you know, spending money, that kind of thing, you have to detox from it and literally make yourself bored so that your dopamine levels will drop. And then activities that normally you would not be stimulated by, you will start being stimulated by because you've reset your dopamine levels and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, the cure for this is boredom. But I mean, it makes sense. And I guess that's why they say like sometimes you need to just detach from social media, like even with the kids and stuff like that. And I do see this, especially since I work with a lot of kids in my office. It's like they constantly need that. Well, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them constantly need like some kind of stimulation and stuff like that. And why some of them, you know, have attention issues and things of that nature. Like they're in constant need of stimulation. And I remember, you know, and when I see those kids, I remember like back in my day or whatever, or even I tell my kids, there have been times when I told my kids when they were younger, I was like, no, you just need to sit in the room and use your imagination. Like, no, you do not need to watch TV. You do not need to be on the tablet. You do not need to be playing any game. Sit in your room, use your imagination and come up with some stuff or whatever. So, and that's, I mean, and because we didn't have technology or as much technology back then, that's what we had to do or whatever. So I totally get it. And it does make sense. So you literally have to reset your dopamine levels and whatever. The reason I was like, this doesn't really seem like, I mean, once again, it's something that is so simple to do, or it should be something so simple to you do, but it's like, it's almost like it's so simple. It's like, I ain't doing that or whatever. That's because when they first said that, that's what I was like. I'm like, I ain't about to do that. Like, that's dumb or whatever. But it makes sense. It makes sense. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes the things that are hard for us to do are so doggone simple, and we get in our own way of doing the things and everything. Something else that you can do, if you are not motivated to do stuff, oftentimes it's because we tell ourselves that we are not the type of person who does those kinds of activities or whatever. Going back to like my exercising analogy, it's like I'm not the athletic person. Like you're not gonna see me playing no sports or anything like that. So when it comes to like exercise, it's like maybe subconsciously I'm telling myself like I'm not the type of person who goes out walking or running. Like I say, you ain't gonna see me running or whatever. If you see me running, everybody in danger, so y'all better start running too. But I'm just not the type of person. So we're telling ourselves that we are not the type of person who does these types of activities. And sometimes you have to change your identity and reframe how you are viewing yourself so that you can view yourself as a person who does do those activities, as a person who does go out walking, as a person who does play sports and that kind of thing, to kind of like fool your brain or trick your brain into thinking these things so that it helps the brain to be more likely to do it. Also within that same vein, oftentimes we have a hard time doing it is because, once again, because we're already believing that we are not the type of person who does these types of activities, then when we do this activity, we're not going to be successful with it. It's almost like we believe that we're going to fail, and our brain does not like for us to fail. So the brain will also try to prevent us from engaging in certain activities as a form of protecting us from failure. Now, I hope that made sense because I know that can be a little bit complicated or whatever. And that's why I said, as I started digging into this, I was like, this is not as straightforward as I thought it was going to be, or as simple of a topic that I thought it was going to be. Like, you can do hard things, like just believe in yourself. You got it. You can do it. I did not know that I was going to be talking to y'all about dopamine and all this kind of stuff. I did not know. So I hope that made sense. So just switching gears, reframing stuff, tricking your brain to think, hey, I am this type of person, and your brain trying to protect you from failure or not achieving something is what is also preventing you from doing some of the things that you really need to do. Okay. Let me read some of the comments. I'm going to take a sip. And then I just have a few other things that I'm going to share, and then we're going to wrap it on up. All right. Belford says, he says, transparency. After I do my runs, I would come home and eat junk food. I had to stop buying snacks for a while. See, okay, so I feel better. So it's not just me. It is not just me. I was thinking about them cookies the whole walk. I'd be like, come on, girl, we're going to do one more mile. And then we'll be home. And then you can get them cookies. And then you'll be all set. And I'd be like, ah. And then I would justify it too. Not only because I did my walk. Usually I walk in the morning. So I was like, yeah, we're going to eat these cookies. And we got the whole day to burn off these calories. Oh, make it make sense. It made sense to me in my own little head of how I justified doing stuff. And then Young Speaker says, I like the science behind lowering the dopamine. It is a certain amount of days to lower before. Oh, is it a certain amount of days to lower before you see a change? Jesus. I don't know if they said it was a certain amount of days. I know they said, because I looked at a couple of videos, and one of them, I'm trying to remember. One of them, I want to say, did talk about doing it over a couple of days, but then another one was saying it could happen like immediately. So, and that's when they started talking about, like, you know, unplugging from like social media and stuff like that. That will help you to reset it and everything too. So I think it is, and I'm going to say this cautiously, I think it is an immediate result. In terms of immediate, like, I think if you detox for like that day or for a few hours or something like that, I think it is an immediate result, because if you are used to doing a certain thing every day, whether it's social media, they even use the analogy of like drinking, and this might be more relatable. Like, if you are somebody who drinks on a regular basis, it takes more drinks to get you drunk or whatever. So if you stop and you don't drink like you used to, or you go some time without drinking or whatever, then it doesn't take as many drinks to get you drunk versus if you were drinking that same amount every day or whatever. So I think it is immediate, because they say dopamine is released at all times. They said dopamine is like released from us even doing like simple things. Like if you're thirsty and you're drinking water, that little reward from having the water, it releases like dopamine or whatever. So I believe it does happen immediately. It's just a matter of you actually stopping the activities that cause your dopamine to spike. So I guess, like, say, I don't know, maybe if you ate cookies or something like that, for me, if you ate cookies and that causes a dopamine spike, but playing video games gives you a whole lot more pleasure or whatever. I think if all you did was stop eating cookies, you're probably not going to see as big of a detox as if you had to cut out like the video games. So I'm thinking is whatever is giving you the biggest dopamine rush is what you're going to see the biggest result of you kind of like resetting your dopamine levels. So yeah, if you only do something small, it's probably not enough to readjust it. But if you do something big, it's probably gonna really drop it down and reset it good for you or whatever. And that's just me because I'm not a professional. These other people, they were quoting like studies and all that kind of stuff. This is just me and my kind of like logical way of thinking. But once again, I'm the same person who was thinking it's okay to eat cookies after I went for a walk because I was able to justify it in my mind. All right. So do with what I said. Do with it what you will. Okay. All right. Now let's see. And Still Rocks is putting in the fire emojis. And Yame says, I still do that low key. I had to go and buy fruit and vegetables just to cut down on my sugar intake. Yeah, the struggle is real. The struggle is really, really real. All right, let me go over a few other things with y'all, and then I'm going to wrap everything up. Just remember, y'all, we can do hard things. The system is set up against us. Our brain is fighting against us, but we really can do hard things, all right? No matter what the hard thing is. Some other people that were given some tips that you can do when it comes to doing hard things is to start getting ready for the activity that you need to do. So I know I'm using the exercise analogy a lot, but I know for me, it, like, especially in the beginning, it was really hard, or even like last month or whatever, when I was trying to exercise, it was really hard for me to do the exercise. So what I started doing is I just started sleeping in my workout clothes or whatever. And then I would, to make it easier for me to go work out or go, because I ain't working out, I'm going for a walk. I would sleep in my workout clothes. So when it was in the morning time, I couldn't say, oh, I got to go find my workout clothes or whatever. I already had them on and I could just go for my walk. Something else I did is, like, this week, because I didn't really plan accordingly, I woke up late or whatever, needed to get my walk in before I went to work or whatever. And I ended up just working out in my pajamas and everything like that. And someone did talk about that. They were like, you should decide when you're going to do something. So instead of you just saying, hey, I want to walk more often, you need to set specific dates and times. Like, I'm going to walk on Mondays at 8 a.m. or something like that. And I'm going to walk on Thursdays at 10 a.m. or whatever. It's like you need to tell yourself specific things or have specific plans of what you're going to do for that activity that you're really having a hard time doing. And if something happens, so say I said I was going to walk at 8 a.m. or whatever, and something came up, you also have a contingency plan or a backup plan or a plan B, and be like, hey, if I don't walk in the morning, then I'm going to walk at, 8 p.m. that night or whatever. And that kind of is what happened to me when it came to walking. Like, I didn't plan, and then I ended up working out in my pajamas because I was like, we gonna work out. I don't care what I have on. We gonna work out regardless. I'm gonna get this done or whatever. I'm not gonna use the fact that I don't have on the right clothes or whatever to prevent me from working out. So they said set specific plans for what you want to do. Don't make it too general, because then it gives you too much leeway to kind of like ease out of it and not do it. So make it specific, and then also have a plan B if that specific thing or that specific thing doesn't work out exactly how you want it to, okay? And then something else that they said is like habit stacking. And I have heard about that. And she's not on tonight. And she was talking about a book that talks about habits, Atomic Habit. And I wanted to make sure, and there was another book that I was trying to remember the other week for her, and it was The Power of Habit. That is another good book to read that talks about habits. And one of them, I don't know, one of the two, they talk about habit stacking. And basically what that means is when you're trying to do something new or you're trying to incorporate a new habit, you stack it with another habit. So let's say here's something else I'm trying to get more into a routine of doing or whatever. So, and that is making sure I wash my face at nighttime. I usually always wash it in the morning, but I don't always wash it at night, especially now since I don't wear makeup and stuff like that or whatever. So if I were to habit stack it, I would stack it with like when I brush my teeth at night, next thing I'm going to do is to wash my face instead of me just going to bed or whatever. So you stack it with something that you already are in the habit of doing something regularly, and you just kind of add it on to there so that it makes it easier for you to incorporate the new habit to your already daily routine and everything like that. So that was habit stacking. Something else that is really, really big, I've said this before on my channel, is they say don't get stagnant. Now there's a quote that I like to use, and it's called, there is no comfort in the growth zone and no growth in the comfort zone. And what that means is, and you should always be challenging yourself and always be trying to grow and do challenging things, do hard things. So even going back to that walking analogy, I usually try to switch it up with my walking, like, and some of that is due to my time constraints. So some days I'm walking exactly 2 miles. Some days I'm going even longer. I'm walking like 4 or 5 miles. I haven't quite hit 6 yet or whatever. But I'm switching it up. I'm switching up my route and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to get stagnant. I don't want it to become boring because, like they said, when it gets boring, your dopamine level, well, I didn't know that at the time, but apparently your dopamine levels drop and then you don't want to do the activity because now it's boring. So I switch up my where I walk or whatever, or the path that I take, the different places I walk to or whatever. Sometimes I'm walking on the treadmill. Now that treadmill is one of the most boring things for me to do. So usually if I'm on the treadmill, it's because I'm really, really short on time. But even on the treadmill, instead of me like walking at a regular pace, it's like every 2 minutes I'm increasing my speed or whatever, just to keep it interesting, just to make it challenging. Because if I know when I'm walking on that treadmill, if I'm walking at that same speed the whole time, I am going to be bored out of my mind. The only time I'm able to do that is if I'm watching like something on YouTube and a podcast and I have my little tablet in front of me and stuff like that. But like I said, usually now when I'm on the treadmill, it's because I'm really short on time. And I can't go outside and walk or whatever. So for me not to get bored and get off after 5 minutes, because that's usually what I want to do, is like I have to challenge myself and make it harder for me on the treadmill so that I will want to stay on and keep doing it until the end. So they were like, don't get stagnant, always challenge yourself, because they said we are creatures of habit and we do like comfort. But they said actually once you start getting too comfortable and you don't make any more progress, and actually you can start regressing in doing some of the things that you actually need to do. So just remember, there is no comfort in the growth zone and no growth in the comfort zone. So don't get too comfortable. And that's why sometimes you see people who are doing the same thing in life over and over and over. They are in their little comfort zone. They are happy, I guess, or whatever. But I pray to God I don't ever get to be like that or anything. So all right, I see I have a few comments and I'm looking to see what else I need to tell y'all. There's only like 2 more things I need to say, and then we'll be all done, I think. All right. Yame says, I did that today. I had started off working out every morning, and then I started working out in the evening as well, but I slacked off for a while. So this week I started off working out at least once. Yeah. So as long as you're doing something and like, I guess like just switching it up so your brain doesn't get too used to the monotony, I guess, of doing the thing. And then Yame says, if I don't work out in the morning, I work out in the evening. So that's good. It's amazing though. It's like, I guess like with the video games and like the different things on social media, like the video games, you get rewards or you get a sense of reward from like if you're winning, and then there's a challenge because you're playing against people and stuff like that. And in the social media, you just see different things going on. So that's the variety. And I guess that's what keeps us coming back to those types of activities versus the working out and stuff like that. It's just like same thing over and over and over, just like that daggone tea. Like, oh my God. Like even today, like I said, even with the tummy tea, even with the one I like, it took me forever to drink the tea. Like I said, one is because I'm not a big drinker, but I had to like literally remind myself, all right, okay, drink the tea, take a sip and everything. And then Yami said, so a DIY project once or twice a week is actually a good habit then. Yes, I think so. Because I think it probably gives you like a dopamine rush and it's something different that you're experiencing, and it's something different from your regular routine and your regular pattern. And so when your brain knows it's coming, like, hey, we're going to do a DIY project, a couple of times out of the week, it gives it something to look forward to. And they say that anticipation of it helps increase the dopamine as well. That's why they say like people who gamble and stuff like that, even when they don't win, like when they sit at the slot machine and the idea of possibly winning or the anticipation that they might win, it gives them a dopamine rush. Now they definitely have a bigger dopamine rush when they actually win the thing or whatever, or win something or win some money. But the idea or the anticipation of possibly winning gives them a dopamine rush as well. So yeah, if you can like trick your brain in a good way, like, hey, we're going to do this DIY project, it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, that kind of thing, then even that gives you like a dopamine rush, a good dopamine rush. Because that's the thing too. We want to make sure we're giving ourselves dopamine rush for the good things or the things that are going to be beneficial to us. Because playing those video games, being on social media and scrolling, they give us a dopamine rush, but we really should be doing other stuff and taking care of our business and everything. And then the other thing that I'm going to mention, 3 things that I'm going to mention is they also say try to do the hard thing for a short period of time. And I've heard that before. And I think I even talked about it before when I talked about procrastination. It's like, let's see if I can do it for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, how I'm feeling, let's see if I can go another 10 minutes. And that's kind of like what I'm doing with the whole, I'm going to walk 2 miles for 2 weeks or whatever. It's like, let me just knock out these 2 weeks. It's a smaller goal. And then once I hit that 2 weeks, I'm going to set another 2 weeks. And it's like just trying to do that thing for a short period of time to kind of build myself up to it and get it as a new habit for me to expect and everything. Also, you can tell I'm big on affirmations. So just speaking life into yourself and saying, I can do hard things. And that's what, and I feel like that helps in the moment when you're doing stuff, especially like when you're really struggling. But sometimes that's not, sometimes it does not, it's not always successful. But yeah, in the moment, it can definitely help. Like I can do hard things, or if you're working out, or if you're like, I'm running at this fast pace. Let me just run at this fast pace for another minute. And you telling yourself, I can do hard things. Then sometimes in those instances, it can definitely help and sustain you for that short term. And if you're and the affirmations, I feel like they do help long term as well, but it's because now you're starting to believe that you are the person that you're talking about or whatever. But the affirmations, I feel, have more of a long term benefit in order for it to kind of work really, really well. Like you can't just say the affirmations one day or whatever. You need to constantly tell yourself these affirmations every day. So once you start believing that you are the person that you're saying, then it's easier for you to do the thing. Because that's the other thing, because I talked about that before. Your brain is believing that you're not this person. And so that's also what makes it harder for you to do some of these hard things. But if you're saying your affirmations on a daily basis, eventually your brain, over time, your brain is going to start believing that you are the person that you're speaking about, and you'll be able to do these things. And then the other thing is try to, and this is what I'm learning as well, I'm trying to enjoy the journey and not be so focused on the end results. Because I posted a video yesterday, like even you can put a whole lot of effort into something. You can do your very, very, very best at something, and it just don't turn out the way you thought. It don't turn out the way you anticipated, the way you thought it was going to be, and you put your all into it. And just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, enjoy what you learned from the experience as you're going through it. take that and try to apply it the next time. And even with that, it's a lesson that we should know. And I guess if I was an athlete, I would know that, because athletes, they can be at the top of their game. They could have practiced, they could have worked out, they could have built all this muscle, they could have came into the game prepared and everything like that, and then you still might lose to another team or whatever, even though you gave it your best effort. Okay, so your efforts, even in spite of your best efforts, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the result that you wanted or that you anticipated. So just try to enjoy the journey, enjoy the process as you're going through it, to make it a more worthwhile experience and everything. All right. That's pretty much all I had. I see I have a couple more comments. So I'm going to take another sip and I'm going to do that. I told you I wasn't going to talk that long, but I guess it took longer than I thought or whatever. All right, let's see. What's up, girl? This is Leslie. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been sending some people your way because, girl, I have not been wanting to do my notary stuff. But anyway, she says my biggest or hardest thing is being confident. I avoid things that put me front and center because I don't feel confident. Now, girl, we done talked about this. We have definitely talked about this, and you definitely, I know I probably shared with you, you definitely should put yourself out there, because you are definitely capable of so many things, so many opportunities, and you are so talented as well. Not just with notary, because you said you have your own crafting stuff that you're doing as well. So I know it can be a struggle, being confident, but start telling yourself that you are, like, I am a confident person. I'm able to accomplish different things, because like I said, your brain is telling you I'm not this type of person. And then it is also protecting you from putting yourself out there so that you don't put yourself in situations. And something else, I don't know if I mentioned, this was in my notes, something else that helps you to do hard things is to surround yourself with people who are doing the thing that you want to do. So if you want to be able to exercise better, then you might want to join a gym or join a running club or join, some kind of like weightlifting club. Get around people who are doing the thing that you are doing. So when it comes to like people, whatever it is that you are lacking confidence in, or you don't want to put yourself front and center in, start getting around people who are doing that thing that you want to do, and you seeing them achieve their stuff. Some of that energy rubs off on you. And also, not only just the energy, the lessons and the skills and the knowledge that they have, you start absorbing that and you start learning that too, so that you can be more confident as well, because you're like, oh, I know this stuff, I know how to do this or whatever. You see them doing it, you see them operating in it, so that you're able to do the things. So I don't know if I mentioned that out of all the things, but if there is something that you want to do, start getting around people who are already doing that stuff. Same thing like when it comes to money. If you're trying to save money, you better not get around people who are spending money, because then you're going to be more likely to spend money. So you want to get with people who are trying to save money, build wealth. Same thing like when it comes to people who want to get married. If you're trying to get married, you probably don't need to be hanging around no single people, okay? Because or people who are not trying to get married, because chances are you're probably not going to get married. So get around the like-minded people who are trying to do the same thing that you are trying to do as well. All right, let's see. Janine, your name is familiar. I think you've been on here before. She says, this may sound weird, but I've decided to do math problems, and the icing on top is working them at my own pace as a hobby, while I think it's listening to cafe music play in the background. That's not weird. You stimulating your brain and stuff like that. So if that's what gives you joy, then that's what gives you joy. Like, I enjoy listening to my audiobooks. I enjoy listening to podcasts. For other people, that it could be very, very boring. I don't care. But that is what I like to do. And I guess it helps stimulate some of my dopamine as well. Yame says, Oh, she says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, which is Philippians 4:13. Thank you, Yame. That was very nice. Yes, we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. Now, I will say this, though, Yame. Read those verses before, because who was it? Was it Paul who wrote in Philippians? He went through some stuff. He talked about some stuff a few verses before that. And then he was like, it's like, I think he was talking about, like, I have been above and I have been beneath. I have gone without and I've had, I've had stuff and all this kind of stuff. It was like, he's like, I've had things and I had things taken away. And then he was like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I was like, ooh, Lord Jesus, I got to pray on this one. I like, we be quoting this thing, but, but if you read the verses ahead, for him to say that after he went through all that, I'm like, yeah, God is on his side, or he's a strong believer. I'm like, I don't know if I want to I don't want to go through all of that, God, if I don't have to, but I can do all things through you who strengthens me. And then, Leslie saying, I got one a few weeks ago. Good, because I gave him your number. Yes, we have definitely talked about this so many times, Leslie. And then she says, hold on. My computer's acting up. Oh, let me see. My computer is freezing up on me. For whatever reason, I can't go back. Let me see if I can make it go back. There it goes. All right. She says, last of 7 children, lots to unlearn. But it's never too late. It's never too late to unlearn. And then she's telling Yame, thank you. And then Yame says, Yame is giving us the scriptures tonight. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. And that is from Psalms 139:14. Thank you, Yame. And while Yame is giving us the scripture, I'm taking communion. And then Yame is telling Leslie, you're welcome. Young Speaker says, how can I give boyfriend a dopamine rush to have a hard conversation with me? Oh, Young Speaker, I don't know. I guess you would have to tap into what motivates him. What is he interested in? What kind of gets him excited? What gets him happy? Or in that vein, I don't know. And maybe like go on a little date or whatever, and doing an activity that he likes, or something that brings him joy or whatever. And then the timing might not be the best, but after he's had that little dopamine rush, then be like, hey, I know we need to, I just wanted to mention this to you or whatever. But tap into what kind of things he's kind of interested in. But that's kind of hard to have a hard conversation with you, because I don't know what y'all might need to talk about, and I'm not trying to be in your business, but depending on the type of situation, you want to make sure that the timing is right, even though there's never like a perfect or right time or whatever, but like the setting and all that kind of stuff. And then Janine says, also really like K-drama and learning Korean language. It's really fun. That's good. Janine, you are really, I won't say testing your brain, but challenging your brain and everything too. So that is good. And keeping your brain stimulated and stuff like that. Because another one, I didn't mention this, but another one of the videos that I had watched, they had talked about how you kind of keep yourself motivated to do the hard things or do hard things. It's like when you're curious about it. So when your curiosity is piqued, and you're intrigued by something, then that is what kind of helps you want to do hard things or difficult things or things that you might not have ever considered before, is because it's something new to you. It's something that you want to learn about and you're curious about, and that helps spike. That also helps increase your your dopamine levels and stuff like that. And that's, that's probably why, like, even in relationships and things like that, like when you first meet somebody, you're all excited and all interested because you're curious about them. And it's probably like sending your dopamine levels to all kinds of crazy highs and everything. And then Leslie also says, actually, that's an excellent idea. My aunt was recently diagnosed with dementia. And one of the things that the doctor said was doing brain exercises is good to keep us sharp. Yes, like puzzles, like regular puzzles, crossword puzzles, anything to kind of stimulate your brain, anything to kind of challenge it to keep it sharp and fresh. Yeah, and Leslie, she's helping me out with the Bible verse before, to abound and abase. That's what he was talking about before. I'm like, you done went through some stuff for you to say all that. And then Yami says, you most definitely need to read the whole account to gain understanding. Still Rocks is showing his support. Leslie, I'm not sure what you were laughing at. And then this is the last comment. Young Speaker says, thanks. Boyfriend likes doing active things. I need to have a hard conversation with him about his mom's intrusiveness. But he's always defensive, so need to get his dopamine up. Or his defenses down. And there's definitely ways you can get his defenses down, but you want to create an environment where he would feel safe to open up. And also you want to make sure how you approach the subject doesn't put him on the defensive. So maybe not even saying directly about his mom, but maybe say, hey, I had a friend and this is what's going on with them. What do you think about the situation? Because they asked me, how do they think they should handle it? That kind of thing. So you can kind of phrase it that way, but you definitely want to make sure you at least approach it in a manner that doesn't put him on the defensive. And I don't know how long you've been with your boyfriend or whatever, but if you've been with someone for a while, like for a long period of time, you kind of know you start learning what sets them off or how to approach a situation or word things a certain way so that they don't take it the wrong way. Or that at least they'll be more open to hearing what you're saying and everything like that. And then also just saying, not pointing the fingers at anyone or placing blame or anyone, just trying to keep it very neutral, so to speak. So it doesn't make him feel like he needs to take up for his mom or take up for himself, but he's just open to hearing what you have to say. But that can be kind of tricky and everything. All right. Leslie says, yes, delivery is key. It is very, very key. And then, Yame says, nice, calming, and relaxing environment. Hypothetical approach. Yeah, no hypothetical approach. So, you want to definitely put him at ease. Make sure it's not a time where it's a stressful situation. Like if he's had a long day at work or, the end of the week is bad because he's worked, so long or something like that. Excuse me. You want to just make sure the situation is as relaxing and calm as possible. And then Leslie also says, be sure not to paint his mother in a negative light because then he'll immediately become defensive. Yes, you just gotta choose your words carefully, wisely. Be delicate. Be delicate. You gotta stroke their ego sometimes. When I say stroke their ego, it's like you gotta know how to talk to them, is all I'm gonna say. You gotta know how to talk to them. And then the last thing, and then I'm gonna hop off because we've been going for over an hour, but also make sure you are hearing him out. There's That's the difference between communication and debating. Yeah. And go into it like, what is the goal of the conversation? Like, what are you trying to get out of the conversation? Think about that before you even go into the conversation, because if you have that goal at the forefront, when things start going left, you'll be reminded, okay, like the goal of this was not for us to get into like this big argument, and now we're upset with each other, and he not talking to me, I'm not talking to him, I don't even like his mama no more, whatever. It's like, what is the goal? Is the goal for y'all to be able to get, you want to be able to have a better relationship with his mom, that kind of thing, for all of y'all to have a better relationship? What is the goal? And you can even possibly lead with that, like, hey, this is a tough conversation that I need to have with you, but also ultimately, my goal out of this is for us to be able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. And I would love to be able to talk to you to see how we can do that. But there are some issues that I've encountered that is preventing me from doing so. Something, something along those lines or whatever. Young speaker says, so smart and wise words. Thanks. I'll work on that. You're welcome. And Yame says, right, the solution, not what the problem is. Yeah. So I hope everything works out for you and everything. All right. And we're gonna hop out. And look who we about to hop off, and look who hopped on. Mr. Mahoney. Good to see you. He says, good evening. All right, but I hope this was helpful for y'all. I hope y'all will tell me next week what hard things y'all were able to do or accomplish. I'll let y'all know how things are going with my hard things that I am working on and trying to do. Yeah, it's been like I said, it's been a rough week as I'm trying to learn and do this stuff or whatever. And Jason says, just do it. Jason, we trying. We found out it's not as easy, but we gonna do it. But all right, I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I also hope y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, guys.